Hi, Greg Thompson here at Crye Precision. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown on our airframe helmet. The helmet I'm holding in my hand is kind of fully kitted out. This is the base model you see behind you. The main goal of this particular helmet in this configuration is to essentially drop as much weight off of the current state of the art while providing as much coverage as we can and while providing as much fragmentation protection as we can. So effectively what we've done here through a combination of the geometry of the helmet itself as well as the materials used is we're able to drop about 20% of the weight off of the existing helmet offerings while providing actually a slightly higher level of fragmentation protection. Additionally, because we get to kind of design it from the ground up, which I think is often kind of a strength of ours, if you will, we are able to change the geometry completely of the helmet. By having essentially two halves, it was originally actually a design project to see the effects of passive cooling on the helmet, and as it turns out we do get anywhere from 10 to 20% reduction in heat stress just by having a simple vent in the helmet itself. But also by having it being a two-piece configuration, we're able to basically create a helmet of two simpler shapes rather than one continuous bowl, if you will. A couple things, we're able to get greater wrap around the back of the head, so we get greater coverage down to the bottom of the neck, which helps a lot in terms of fragmentation and explosions coming from the ground as opposed to airburst munitions, which many helmets were designed for. We're also able to get, by having two simpler shapes, we're able to create a ballistic solution that eliminates all darting and that sort of thing in the ballistic fiber. So there's no redundant ballistic fiber. Everything is optimized. So we're able to create a helmet using fewer layers, irrespective of the material. This particular helmet's about 20% lighter if we use an aramid fiber as opposed to the polyethylene version that's in here. We can also get a weight savings and up some of the other characteristics such as the crush resistance and things like that, which depending on the customer that may be more important. So we do make this in a variety of configurations. This is just one ballistic recipe for this helmet. We also have several add-on components to the helmet. One such being the rail system, which is compatible with the OpsCore arc rail. So all the same attachment items that go onto the arc rail will go onto this rail as well. We also have basically a mesh printed helmet cover on this one. This one's specific to a specific NVG mount, but we can do it for basically any configuration which you may need. We also have on this particular helmet, it's what we call the chops. The chops are ballistic protection essentially to your ears and face. More or less the same level of ballistic protection as the helmet itself, but in a configuration that's very, very easy to remove and store. Okay, so it's completely separate. Just clicks back in place, and there you go. We like to keep the center here devoid of any sort of armor or covering, simply so that you have that ability to see your mouth, talk, eat, communicate, do all those things that you kind of take for granted and realize the downside of as soon as you cover it up. We also have, for the helmet, you can simply add on ears as well, which is a much smaller component, but if you need that little bit of protection, it'll do the job for you. And essentially we're able to save weight on these items as well because, again, no darting of the ballistic material. We're able to optimize every bit of fiber that's there. So yeah, that's the airframe helmet.